Hi, my name is Moses Jonathan, and I'm a songwriter. I often use Mosefield for some personal reasons. So I've been writing songs for a number of years now, and I know some tactics which I believe will be able to suit your songwriting project, especially if you're struggling with songwriting as I was. First of all, you need to have a game plan, and then you need to write your song, and then you need to capture the feeling in that song, like the moment you wrote it, you need to record it. Songs have that tendency to wither with time. Once you have your game plan, you need to start now to get tunes for your song ideas. And that's the most challenging part in songwriting, really, because not everybody can get tunes, and anything in life, it can be learned. And even the art of songwriting, anyone can learn how to do it. So for me, I was not a singer to begin with, and I was not born a singer. I was not a natural born singer like many other beautiful singers I know. They came out of the womb singing, and that was not my case. I used 8 years to learn how to sing. When I'm talking about there's no one who cannot learn how to write songs, I know what I'm talking about. So the first thing, you have to get your tunes. Now for me, I remember when I wanted to start writing songs, I remember one day I went out and I just looked to the heavens and I prayed, Lord, I want to know how to write songs. And a few days later, I started getting songs, song tunes, so to speak. And I started learning how to write songs, literally by improvising. And later on, I started learning how other people write their songs. So the real intelligent thing to do when you get a tune is to put it in a place where you can remember it, because they often tend to fly away so quickly. And at the time when I started writing my songs, I was in a mid school and we were not allowed there to go with electrical instruments, so I didn't have a phone or anything where I could keep my tunes. So I used to write them in a notebook in a way that I could remember how the tune flowed. The other way of getting tunes is through improvising. If you know how to play a music or instrument, is to just improvise through the circle, like the whole circle of music. And if you do that, sometimes you get something that really works for you, and you can even improve it from there to make a very beautiful song. So after you've got your tune, you need now to start writing your song. And this can be a very discouraging step too, because it's not always that easy to write a song, to write a beautiful song. For me personally, there has been seasons where I wrote a song in less than an hour. I remember there was a time I wrote a very beautiful song in 40 minutes. And years later, I went back to the song trying to find any loopholes where I can improve from. And I found it was very concrete. Really, in 40 minutes, it's something that really stands out. But there has been times when I used the entire day and didn't get even the first line. And I finished the song in 10 days. So it really depends on the kind of song. I believe there are some songs which are more difficult in the way that they flow, and other ones which are more easier. And also, there's another thing about emotions. We human beings, how we are wired, the way the Lord has formed us is very amazing and very strange too. Because I find myself sometimes I could go to bed, at night, and I'm at that highest state of ecstasy, and I go to sleep, and just 5 or 6 hours I wake up in the morning, I find myself in it, like I'm completely estranged to myself, like, what am I feeling? Emotions change very quickly. And so if you're not very careful, you might find yourself being enthralled to the emotions so much that you can't write your songs. But you need to know that sometimes there are days which you really can't write songs and you need to postpone your project. And there are days which, if you will be able to catch those days, you'll be able to do some very amazing projects in songwriting. So that's one of the things you need to watch is your emotions. And the process also of songwriting, as I said, sometimes it takes a lot of time to pour out words into that song. For me personally, I try to use something which I've called word balances. I try to imagine that there are word balances inside my heart. So I try to weigh the words, how it fits in every line of the song. So that tactic, it consumes a lot of time trying to measure the emotional content of your writing. So that one takes a lot of time, but in the end, when you write a song, you find something that really touches your heart, and it's a song that you can sing again and again without it, losing its colors. And I believe that that's the kind of song which can easily flow out and touch a lot of other people. Because if you write a song from your head, it lacks emotions. And when it does not have emotions, that's no longer a song. It's just like an old paper. Like, it's a very boring thing to do, singing a song that does not have emotions. You have to care a lot on how much your emotional Richter scale registers when you write a song. And another thing is where you write your songs. So for me, I prefer using a notebook and an eraser and a pencil. So I have a number of notebooks for some reasons. One of them is that sometimes I find some songs, like this song, I have this song idea and I find it comfortable in writing in a black notebook. So if I write it in another color, like that song will not flow very well. So you have to understand the things that work for you, and there's been times when I find it more comfortable in writing in a smaller notebook, so I have a smaller notebook. So you need to have a place where you write your songs and something that really suits you. And also environment, Sometimes I find it very comfortable, and most of the times for me, to write a song in a solitary place like in my room. And sometimes when I lie down, sometimes when I sit, you have to check, because it's not like every day things will just go in the same way. And the reason is, as I said, we are emotional creatures. So if emotions are involved, you can't really explain it. You just have to flow with them. And the art of songwriting is more of the emotions, because if you don't care about emotions, you will not be a very good writer. So you need to consider emotions part. Sometimes I could spend a lot of time in just one line trying to find the right word that can express a certain feeling, a certain emotion, or a certain experience. Sometimes I could summarize like an entire scene in just single line, and a lot of things were happening, but when I sing that line, everything comes back to life again. So it's like everything has been embroidered in that tapestry, in a very beautiful way. I try to imagine like a person who is, wafting a tapestry. That's how we do with songs. You have to embroider it with a lot of emotions there. And in that way, emotions really flow, because emotions are specific pieces from your spirit. And when they go out, they tend to influence the same feeling to other people. So I find it's a very important tool in songwriting. You have to include your emotions. And I believe the people who can put a lot of emotions in their songs are the ones who turn out to be very great writers and singers. Because, that's in there. The last thing to do when you have written your song is to preserve it. And personally, what I try to do most of the times is, after I've written my song, immediately I want to record it, in the best form possible. So I would go to the studio and I would decide on the kind of, progressions, key on how to sing the song in a way that best flows, and that really catches all the emotions that I have when I sing that song. So this is very important, because if you leave a song in a notebook, some days later, you come back to that same song, you can find yourself like you're really estranged to your own emotions. You don't feel the same things which you felt when you were writing that song. And it's also important to, if you write a song and you record it and you get an opportunity to pitch a song, it's so easy for you to get that opportunity because you already have that song recorded. So I really applaud you if you're aspiring songwriting. And for me, songwriting is really fun. And I use it a lot, especially when I'm in my free time. And at times when I have bad days or good days, I try to put everything in a song, It's really amazing, sometimes when So you can write a song that really takes you to places you've never been before, or takes you back to places you can't go back again. So I really enjoy songwriting, and I applaud you for being a songwriter. God bless you.